always say to people, any professor who complains about teaching at ITAM has no idea what universities in the rest of the world are like. I speak to my colleagues in the United States, in Canada, in the United Kingdom, and nobody has the experience that we have here as professors. The simple reason for that is because of the materia prima that we get here. It's you guys. You guys are extraordinary students. You really are. You're extraordinary young people. When you leave ITAM, we all know, you go on to do incredible things in Mexico and around the world. I keep in touch with hundreds of my former students, and I'm proud of every single one of them, except for that one who's working for El Chapo, but we won't talk about that. But if you want his telephone number, I can get it. No, really, seriously, I'm proud of every single one of my former students, and I always say, you know what, we're doing something right. In fact, Alejandro said to me a couple of years ago, he said, I don't really know what you do in international relations, but you're doing something right, because I see your students, I come across them in every area of government, in every area of society, in the private sector, and they're doing great things. And I said, well, yeah, I mean, come on, these are, this is international relations. But the simple truth is this. Extraordinary people leave ITAM because extraordinary people come into ITAM. And we try to add something along the way. We try to give you direction. We try to form your brains in different ways. We give you self-discipline. I know you hate that. There's that moment in around 5th or 6th semester when you all say, why? Why did I listen to that pinche Duncan? Es el lugar para estudiar relaciones internacionales. I know, I've had so many students who come to me and said, it's your fault. You're the one that told me at ITAM, as Rashida said. At ITAM I heard you and it sounded so wonderful. And when I got here, it's like, really? I have to work this hard? But then again, I see so many students, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years after they've graduated from ITAM, and they all say the same thing. They say, wow, qué bueno que estudian en ITAM. Qué bueno que estudian relaciones internacionales. And the reason for that is because you suffer here. We all know that. I love to take a photograph of the new generations as they come in, and then take a photograph in sort of 6th semester, around November time. It's like, you age 30 years. I mean, it's incredible. It's like, really? You're the beautiful young person who came in for a moment? What happened to you? That experience of suffering, but suffering in a way with your friends, where you can all, 10 years, 20 years down the road, you say, do you remember that Saturday when we had to come in for Eco 1, examen departamental? It's like, oh. You all come out of it, and I have this conversation almost every year. When the mariachis come at the end of the semester, and you all go out there, and you drink, and you start singing, and all the students say, Nos vamos del ITAM, nos vamos del ITAM. Some of my colleagues say, that's a terrible thing. They shouldn't be saying that. They should want to stay. I say, no, it's good. Let them leave. That's a good experience. It's absolutely right. It's good. You should move on. And you do move on. And I have to say that's a wonderful thing. Personally, in my own life here, I've had the great privilege of meeting many of you when you were 17 or 18 years old, and you came to my office, or I went to your school, or you came to Día ITAM, Noche ITAM, como medio día ITAM, algo así. Medianoche ITAM es terrible. And I had the opportunity to talk to you, and almost every one of you said the same thing. I said to you, what do you want to do with your life? And you said, I want to make Mexico a better place. Qué cursi, pero qué bueno. No, that's it. When you're 17 years old, that's what you should want to do. Every single one of you had that in your head. A lot of you said, quiero ser embajador. No? A lot of you said, I want to be rich. Okay, good. At least you're honest. Then there was that one who works for El Chapo. Ni modo. He's the richest. I hope he's not listening right now. But you all came in, you had that great enthusiasm. Then I saw you when you first arrived at ITAM, that first day, in the plática de bienvenida. And it's always the same. I give you this great talk. It's going to be great here. Congratulations for getting into ITAM. Now your priority is to get the hell out of ITAM in 4 years' time. like escape from a prison camp. You made it in, now make your way out. Absolutely. And that should always be your priority. And many of you I've helped to draw a roadmap of how to get out of ITAM in 4 years, or 5 years, or 6, or 7, or 8. Some of you are older than me. That's But anyway, I then get the chance to teach you in IPE, and the class in IPE, I love teaching that class. It's a cool class to teach, because you all come in and you're a bit bitter about economia by that point. It's like, really, I've got to do more of this economia, and I try to teach you why economia really matters. I try to teach you why you studied Eco Tres, because it's the political side, the social side of economics, and why it really matters. One of the happiest days of my professional life was when I got a phone call from somebody who was working at PME, trading oil internationally, and she called me up and said, Duncan, I used your class today when I made an oil deal. And I said, that's awesome, how did it go? She said, I lost $1 million. No, but really, and I've had that experience from so many people who have come back and said, you know what, I don't remember anything about your class, in fact, except for Susan Strange. And as one person came up to me earlier on tonight and said to me, I just want to say one thing before I'm too drunk to remember. Norms, rules, and decision-making procedures your expectations converge in a given issue area. A number of things have been said about me tonight which are not true. Okay? I'm not 2.5 meters tall. 2.49 más. I am tall, and one of my favorite things about being in Mexico is I get into an elevator and I'm surrounded by people who are kind of at my nipple level. That's a compromising situation to be in. And particularly when a woman looks up at me and she says, oye, ¿cuánto mides? Siempre le digo, ¿de altura? Yeah, the other thing that I love is, and it doesn't happen so much anymore because we have people like Ronnie and Atolini and various other of you who actually were fed as children, so you grew. But in the old days, it used to happen that I was walking down the street on my way to ITAM, and there'd be a child playing in the street, and they'd be like this. And they would fall off the sidewalk into the road, and it was a beautiful moment because they got them. It was either the height or the incredible beauty of my face. I don't know.